Debt, fear, relationships, the children, your health, work. When you want to give up and you need courage to continue, take heart and stay tuned as RJ Jackson writes her signature message of hope on your heart. You don't have to live where you're dying, and you don't have to die where you're living. Like every show of Conversations on Courage, you'll be informed, inspired, and encouraged to find the courage you need to succeed at home, work, and in your business. Get your pen and paper. You'll want to take notes. And now, your host, RJ Jackson, the Courage Giver.
Hey now, happy Tuesday, and welcome back to the table. You talk about authentic, down-to-earth conversation. Well, we had one last week, as in every week. And let me just remind you, today is no exception. We got lots for you to talk about today. Oh, yes, we do. We have opportunities, encouragement, and inspiration that will cause transformation in your situation. Yes, we have lots more in store just for you.
Joining us at the table this week are two amazing women who are passionate about serving the at-risk and foster care community. They are both an example of passion in action. Our first guest who will join us at the table today is Desiree Paulk. Desiree is a counselor in mental health. She holds a Bachelor of Science in Business Management, and she and her husband, Martin, responded to the dark cloud of despair and destruction that they saw hovering over at-risk youth and children and families in the foster care system. They formed an organization dedicated to meeting the needs of youth and developing programs to enhance their lives. This program, Destiny Joy Inc., provides counseling and workshops that focus on personal development, including topics such as character building, communication, feelings, decision-making, and career choice awareness. As COO of Destiny Joy Inc., Desiree's vision includes a transitional home and programs for youth transitioning out of foster care. The ongoing message Desiree proclaims is never give up. It's my pleasure to bring to the table Desiree Paulk. But first, here's 60 seconds of something amazing with Athena Blue of Blue Retreats at blueretreats.com.
I'm Athena Blue, and the quote for today is, 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the things you did. Mark Twain. When you look back on your life 20 years from now, what will you say about it? Will you be able to say, my life was great. I laughed and loved a lot. I did things I never thought I would do. Or will you look back on your life with regret, knowing that your life was full of shoulda, coulda, wouldas? Don't let this be you. The purpose of life is to experience it to the fullest, to experience all that you can. 3 tips to help you live a more fulfilled life. 1. Create a bucket list. Write down everything you want to do and see. 2. Create a vision board from your list. 3. Finally, create an action plan to achieve your goals. I'm Athena Blue with 60 seconds of something amazing. Contact me at blueretreats.com for more information.
Thanks, Athena. You're amazing.
Stay tuned. Coming up next, RJ brings her special guest to the table for more authentic and down-to-earth conversations on courage.
Join me in welcoming to the table Desiree Paulk. Welcome to the table, beautiful. How are you today?
I am doing fantastic, thank you.
Awesome. It is an honor to have you here at the table with us today. And just before we jump into your story, I like to play my little game so that we can get to know you just a little bit better. The question is, are you game?
I am.
Awesome. Let's do it. All right. So here's my first question. Spring or fall?
Spring. I just love the new beginning of beauty, the smell of it, everything about it.
R&B or jazz?
R&B.
Swimming or lifting weights?
You said swimming?
Yeah, girl, swimming.
Swimming.
Had a little trouble with that one, huh? Chess or checkers?
Checkers.
Facebook or Instagram?
Gosh, I like them both for two different reasons.
All right. So which audience are you going with today? Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook.
Skating or bowling?
I have to pick. It would be bowling.
Awesome. I could just hear you now. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay. Well, let's try a different sport. Reading or writing?
Reading.
Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube. Like information.
Woo-hoo. Yes, she was sure about that, people. YouTube. She started singing on that one. It is always such a pleasure to get to know our guests a little bit more intimately and see what the struggle is like when they have to make a choice. It's been really fun getting to know you. We'd love to know more about you. So let's just jump right into the first question that takes us deeper and tells us more. What's your story?
Well, my story will go back to my childhood. I grew up in the inner city in Buffalo, New York, and I've seen a lot of sadness and hopelessness and injustice. And I experienced it myself at around 8 years old, discrimination and just harsh treatment that caused me to go into depression. But what I discovered during that at an early age is that I wanted to be a solution in something like that. I didn't want it to define me, and I knew early that I wanted to help people that were feeling the way that I was feeling to make them feel better. And I began doing that even as a kid with my family, nieces or nephews, and creating dance programs or things that I thought they would enjoy and make them feel good and happy. So I started that early and continued that into my adulthood. When I moved to California after graduating from college and marrying my husband, I soon started working with inner city kids and kids in foster care, and that has been my journey ever since. So I enjoy helping others who are going through trauma and hard times and feel as if they won't survive it or they can't overcome it and are close to giving up, but sharing information on how you could go about building yourself and finding the worth in yourself and understanding that you are important in this world.
So it sounds like you took something that was very painful for you as a child. Instead of letting it kill you or bury you alive, you found purpose in it.
Correct. Found purpose in it. And the main purpose that I found is not only could I overcome and did overcome it, but to be able to help other people to overcome it.
And those people that you're currently helping are foster children, is that right?
Correct.
How do you actually help foster children?
Well, I don't do it alone for sure. I involve the community, churches, business, other individuals that also have a passion to do so. Together we have programs, workshops that inspire and encourage and empower them. So I think the greatest gift out of this is working together with the community, stretching our arms and building a strong resources to accomplish it.
So I understand you do this through your nonprofit, Destiny Joy, Inc. I'm just curious, why foster children? What drove you in that direction to work with foster children in particular?
I believe that they had a double whammy, not only dealing with trauma, but also not having a parent or family, in most cases, around them to help them get through it. So that community particularly touched my heart.
Can you share a story with us? Story that has touched your heart in such a way that you know this is where you're supposed to be?
There are so many. I do have one story of a beautiful young lady who lived in very unimaginable conditions in a garage with several family members for many years and just wasn't able to live a humane life. And when I came into her life, she was very, very, very angry and bitter and just detached from people, non-trusting in every way. The many programs that she was involved over time, I witnessed her just coming out of it and loving people, seeing that she is loved, seeing a whole different world, being exposed and experienced. She was given the opportunity to have a beauty experience with my daughter who owns the Joy Corner for the first time, being in a beauty shop and getting her makeup done and just experiencing the workshops and all the programs. And to see this broken young lady that didn't trust anyone blossom, graduate from school, and just turn into this beautiful, loving human being was so amazing. And I've seen that several times throughout the years.
Wow, what a powerful story to see someone survive their situation and then begin to thrive by realizing that there's more to life than what they've experienced. Thank you for having an opportunity for foster children to come to a safe place. I know through Destiny Joy, Inc., it says that you help inspire dreams, you empower purpose, you nurture passion for the children. And I know one of the events that you do is an annual gala. Tell us about the gala.
The Dream, Purpose, and Passion Unity Gala. It is an event where the community can come together, businesses, organizations, churches, individuals, to just bring light to these children. So it's just an extravaganza of entertainment, inspiration, great food, environment of love and compassion. We do a beauty experience for the girls where we get their hair done and makeup done, and they get to shop, free shopping for a beautiful dress, and then enter into the venue. And the venue is beautiful and just breathtaking, just to give them a place of awakening. This year is August 10th, and I'm so looking forward to it.
It sounds amazing. So is it like a black tie affair? How do they get the outfits that they wear? Give us a little bit more information.
We'd love for them to get dressed up and real fancy because it's not something that they normally experience and want them to have different experiences. So we do call on the community and have dress drives and accessory drives so that we could provide beautiful dresses, gifts for them so that they just feel really special.
What's your biggest need from the community right now?
Dresses. We could use more dresses.
And how does one connect with you to donate either financially or a dress?
The easiest way right now is our website, DestinyJoyInc.com. unapologetically.org.
If you missed that, you can always find it on our website at conversationsoncourage.com. That's conversationsoncourage.com. As you help the young people, particularly those who are in foster care, overcome the barriers that have been placed inside of them, how do you help the community understand how to actually work with the children?
For the most part, we connect with those who are part of or work with youth in foster care. We go to churches and community events, and we just share the information on children and what they go through. We have so many agencies with the Department of Children's Services where they can reach out for those that would like to be foster parents, in which I encourage wholeheartedly, and wish that we have more people who would be foster parents, because that's one of the greatest needs that we have. So everything that we do, the event, including the gala, is to bring awareness so that we can get more people involved in foster care and programs.
Tell us a little bit about your daughter.
Joy started coming to our events, our special events at group homes. She started by singing and dancing to inspire the girls. So she decided to go to cosmetology school, and now she enter into the group home and provide beauty experience, their hair and their makeup for all of their special occasions. She is fully invested in the therapy in every aspect and working with the kids.
Wow. And how old is she?
She's 20 now, and she started when she was 14 years old.
Wow. How amazing is that? What words of encouragement would you like to leave those who are listening so that they can know that they, too, can take their pain and turn it into purpose and live life on the other side of fear?
I would tell them to understand that bad times doesn't last forever, and that their adversity could catapult them to their destiny, and that God can always take those broken pieces and turn them into a masterpiece, and to never give up, because your life is so worth you living. And not only will you find a brighter day and new beginning, but you'll also be able to and have the opportunity to do the same for someone else.
What powerful words of encouragement. Desiree Paulk from Destiny Joy, Inc., thanks for sitting at the table with us today. It's been a pleasure to hear your story and learn more about your upcoming event for foster care youth.
Thank you so much, RJ, for having me.
Now that's an example of heartfelt passion. Desiree, thanks again for gracing us with your awesomeness.
The Board of Directors of Destiny Joy, Inc. cordially invites you to its second annual Dream, Purpose, Passion Gala, Saturday, August 10th, 2019, at 5 p.m. at Life 150 in the beautiful city of Los Angeles, California. Join us for a night of foster care awareness, awards, dining, and entertainment. Your purchase ticket inspires dreams, empowers purpose, nurtures passion, and sponsors a youth in foster care. For details, sponsorships, and tickets, call 818-917-3246. That's 818-917-3246. Or visit www.destinyjoyinc.org.
You're listening to Conversations on Courage with your host, RJ Jackson, the Courage Giver. Quick, call your friends and invite them to listen in.
Our next guest, Latasha Wells Amerson, is an accomplished attorney, a law enforcement professional who has earned a doctoral degree from the University of West Los Angeles School of Law and was admitted to the California State Bar in 2006. As an adjunct professor at California State University Dominguez Hill College in Business and Public Policy. She lectures on several criminal justice courses, including criminal justice in the community, terrorism, and legal foundations. In 2012, she was recognized as the Outstanding African American Woman in Law Enforcement by the Association of Black Law Enforcement Professionals. She is the founder of Latasha Wells Emerson Leadership Institute, Boardroom Leadership Academy, a youth mentoring 501c3 nonprofit organization, and Road Chicks, Los Angeles, a women's support and leisure travel group. Join me in welcoming to the table Latasha Wells Emerson. All right, beautiful. Welcome to the table. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me, RJ.
What a pleasure it is to have someone who's doing great things, who's making a difference in our community, to be sitting at the table. So honestly, the pleasure is all mine. And as we go on with this pleasure, I always start off with a quick game to get to know you just a little bit. My question is, are you game?
I'm game.
All right, so let's do it. I'm going to ask you a question. You let me know which one resonates in your heart the most, and we'll go from there. So let's start off with our first question. Spring or fall?
Fall.
R&B or jazz?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Can I say both?
You can, but you got to pick one.
R&B.
Swimming or lifting weights?
Swimming or lifting weights? Gee willikers. Dog pedaling, swimming.
What did you say? You'd rather not do either one? Is that what I heard you say?
I said dog pedaling. I'm not a very good swimmer, but I don't lift weights, so I just have to be honest.
Okay.
It'll be swimming, but I'll be dog pedaling.
Awesome. As long as you stay afloat, that's all that matters. Chess or checkers?
Checkers.
Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram.
What's your Instagram account?
At Road Chicks LA.
At Road Chicks LA. So check it out. Skating or bowling?
Skating.
Reading or writing? Whatever you do, please don't say arithmetic.
No, I definitely won't say that. That's not the strong suit. I'm going to say reading, although I enjoy writing.
Netflix or YouTube?
Ooh, both of my favorites. I'm going to say YouTube. I get a lot of educational value out of YouTube.
It's been a pleasure getting to know you. The things we have to make decisions about, huh?
Yes.
R&B or jazz? Who's your favorite jazz artist?
My favorite jazz artist would be Norman Brown.
Norman Brown. All right. So I know you have many things going on. What's your story? How did you actually get to become an attorney? Is that something you dreamed about when you were a child? Did you just wake up one morning while you were in college and decide, I think I'm going to be an attorney? What's your story?
Well, that's a good question. My interest in law came when I was in high school, actually, and I wasn't particularly the greatest student, but there was a counselor by the name of Miss Cornell. She took interest in me and asked me what I would, like to be when I grew up and all of these things. And so through our conversation, she suggested that I take this law class. It was an elective in high school, and the rest is really history. I literally took this class. I saw myself excelling at something that really I had passion for, and from that, I determined that I wanted to be both a police officer and a lawyer, and I'm both of those things now.
Wow. So with the influence of a great teacher, it can never be erased. And what she did is plant seeds and gave you opportunity to see your greatness. And what you did is partner with her and have a dream and a hope for your life. And look at you. Voila. Did I hear you just say you're doing both?
Yes, I am doing both. But, I also have to give great credit to my mom, who was a 17-year-old mom. And I saw her, literally, I went to college with her, me and my sister, and she'd be in the stadium seating, and we would be sitting in the class or going to the next class to see what was going on there. And so I kind of grew up very young at, Los Angeles City College with my mother, seeing her push forward and persevere through difficult times. And so it just gave me such a foundation that even if things are not perfect, that they can still be done.
Like Abraham Lincoln said, all that I am or ever hope to be, I owe to my mom. Awesome.
That's right.
As an attorney, what's your specialty?
So I don't technically specialize in anything, but I emphasize in my practice legacy preservation, and that basically is estate planning, wills, and trust. My aim is to really do something that's going to be proactive, so I don't do any litigation in the probate arena. So I really focus on educating people on the value of maintaining their family wealth through the establishment of a revocable living trust.
So you help families live their legacy and leave their legacy.
Yes, and there's a big difference, and I'm trying to change sort of the narrative about how people see that proactive planning, because it can be pretty daunting, and frankly, a lot of people don't get it done because they don't want to talk about death. But the message really is that an estate plan is not about dying, it's about living. So my hashtag is let your legacy live. And that means you be in control of what your legacy is now, and you orchestrate what you want to see happen regarding the things that you've worked so hard for.
People are afraid of dying, and that's one of the biggest fears next to speaking in public, which people would rather die, but yet we don't want to understand that death, it really is a part of life. And it is important for us to make decisions, not only how we live, but what happens to our legacy when we die.
You're so right about that. One of the things that I like to tell people when I'm doing a seminar is it's the only appointment. Death is the only appointment that you will keep on time, and you have no control over that. It's a part of life.
In a part of your life, you set out to accomplish 2 goals, which you have shared with us today that you have accomplished. What's one lesson you learned from your journey that we could also learn from as well?
I think the first one is the power of persevering, because life will happen and there will be difficulties at times. There may be tragedy and loss. And sometimes when those things happen, it can be hugely discouraging to people, and they don't move forward. They stay still, or they find themselves stuck in those types of circumstances. But if you just remember to press forward anyway, to move through the pain, through the grief, through the tragedy, and to overcome, the victory is that much greater when you have triumphed through those difficult circumstances.
What difficult circumstances have you had to press through? in your journey?
I mentioned earlier that I am a law enforcement officer. I'm a captain at a local law enforcement agency in Los Angeles. And I went to law school while I was a sergeant. And so that meant that I didn't necessarily have the amount of time that maybe some other law students had to study, to prepare for examinations, and to do a great job. And they say that you're supposed to be able to study 3 hours for every 1 hour of class. That means I needed to be studying about 9 hours. And persevering for me meant that we get a break that's a 45-minute lunch break, and that's how much time I often had to brief my cases in the locker room on the locker room bench. So persevering is doing what you need to do, not necessarily because you want to be in the locker room instead of eating lunch. It means doing what you need to do so that you can get on the other side of the victory.
And that's one thing we encourage people to do here on Conversations on Courage, is to live life on the other side of fear, because that is where victory awaits you. So you're a captain, you're a lawyer, you are also a visionary, you have a youth program. Tell us a little bit about your youth program, how you got started working with the youth, and what's your mission?
Well, my first start with the youth actually came when I was a youth. I started a community drill team when I was in 10th grade, and with the support, again, of my mom and family. For many years, I ran a local drill team that participated in the MLK parades and competitions in Los Angeles. And I really didn't stop doing that until I was a new police officer. But my most recent nonprofit, which is the Latasha Amerson Leadership Institute, in particular the Boardroom Leadership Academy program, is something that I started in 2012. And it was really just about seeing and hearing a lot of other people talk about the concerns that they had for their boys at the time. And because I was also working in law enforcement and had some involvement with the cadet program, I knew that there weren't very many programs that really focused on self-esteem for young men. And so the organization actually started as an all-boys organization that had Saturday sessions, taught them life lessons, and gave them academic assistance and resources for the family in terms of supporting the child to be the best that they could be from the inside out, because that's where leadership starts. And every year we have an annual youth conference, and we've taken them on cruises to Mexico, where the theme was diversity and inclusion, and we always teach a segment on financial literacy. Last year we went to UCLA, and the focus was on college admissions and attendance. So we've done a little bit of everything, and the whole idea is to really expose the child to things that might be outside of their point of reference, so that they have the opportunity to realize, I can do that. And so we're really just trying to diversify their experiences. So it's one of my greatest joys. I love it. Love it.
How do you incorporate men?
Yeah, so since we started our program, our annual youth conferences have always been co-ed, but the Saturday sessions were originally just male. Through the introduction of one or two females, we realized that the male scholars actually performed better academically in our academic settings when there was a female introduced to the group. So the group is completely co-ed now. And we have men and women that participate in our program. So we do have those opportunities for young men to be aligned with other men that are doing great things in the community. And because of my own background, a lot of times it's police officers and retired police officers. We have a huge amount of support from members that work at the Los Angeles Unified School District. So we have a diverse group of volunteers that we use and take their experiences to really support these young men and women and, young ladies on how to be a young lady. That's a strong thing that we also focus on. But young men, how to be a gentleman, that's something that we also focus on.
It's such a well-needed program. So thank you, your board members, and your volunteers for what you do for our youth. And thank you for serving your community, for running into the face of danger while everyone else is running away. Tell us about the conference, Boardroom Leadership Conference.
So this year is our 7th annual, and it's going to be in Palomar Mountain. And our theme is leaderpreneurship. And so what we're doing here is we're going to be merging leadership principles, which we always emphasize at every conference and every setting, but we're also going to be introducing them to how to write and complete a business plan and also do some business marketing. So each scholar that attends that particular session will not only have a great time networking, meeting new people, and create a new infrastructure of support for themselves, but they'll also leave and go away with their own business idea on paper so that they won't be hearing about what they need to do to start a business when they're an adult trying to do it. If they have a dream or a passion right now, that we can start the paperwork so that they understand what type of business formations, how to get financial support from the banking industry, and how to find out who your target audience is and do projections and all of those great things.
And so my next question might throw you for a loop, but I'm confident that I'm probably not the only one thinking this. Like, can I go? Like, can I go learn?
You can absolutely come learn. We have an amazing time. We will never establish a conference venue or location that does not give us equally as amount of academic learning opportunities as it does fun. They will spend half of the day learning these great concepts, coming up with their own finished product, and they don't know it yet, but we're going to do something like a pitch. They don't. So instead of having their annual, their talent show, which is what we normally do, they're going to be pitching their businesses, and there's going to be some prize opportunities. So it's going to be really exciting, and you're going to want to go to this. So welcome. All are welcome to join us. We sometimes get people that are willing to sponsor a child, so they won't necessarily select the child, but they will make the funds available for a child to go and spend those 4 days and 3 nights with us. And sometimes we have kids that are a little bit fearful, and they don't really necessarily want to go when the charter bus gets ready to leave, and then we bring them back 4 days later, and they're crying because they don't want to go home.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know that experience from teaching anger management. The kids literally come in cussing me out. By the end of the day, the first session, they're like, I'm sorry, Miss RJ, can I stay? And I'm like, no, get out. Go home. See you next week.
See you next week. That's right.
The only reason why they can feel that way, cry those tears, and express those feelings is because they feel the passion and the love that you, your board members, and your volunteers have for them. So, again, really a heartfelt thank you for what you do. Do you serve at-risk youth? And if so, how is it made possible for them to attend?
So we serve a very diverse group of scholars. We have them come as far as North Carolina, Arizona, Nevada. And, yes, we do a questionnaire where we can find out as much as we can about the scholar in order to make sure that we can best serve their needs and make sure that the group is going to be the resources that we need for that group is available for that particular conference. But we have had some students that join us that are in the foster care system, and oftentimes those individuals will be sponsored personally by me or another one of my family members. By the way, if anybody that's related to me, they have to help me, and every year they do. And so I want to say thank you to all of my family members and friends who readily know, okay, I have to sponsor 2 or 3 kids. They do it so graciously, and I'm so grateful for that, because then we're able to help more scholars and perhaps individuals and families that don't have the financial means for them to be able to take such a wonderful trip outside of Los Angeles County.
Teamwork makes the dream work. How can we connect with you if we're interested in sponsoring a child or finding out more information?
Oh, you can go to our website, which is www.lwaleadership.com.
If you missed that, you can always find it on our website at conversationsoncourage.com. That's conversationsoncourage.com. What words of encouragement would you like to leave with our audience to help remind them that life is waiting for them on the other side of fear?
I think the most important thing that I would like to leave with the listeners today is that having courage means taking risk. And sometimes we feel that risk has a lot of trepidation and fear will hold us back. But sometimes you've got to persevere through fear, and you've got to align yourself with a strong infrastructure of people that will support you. But you cannot make having courage be all about you. It should be about self-development, but it also should be about advocacy for others, because this is also where we find a great deal of fulfillment. The fulfillment comes from you investing in other people and helping them to persevere, even if your own circumstances don't necessarily look that great. You can find such strength in helping another human being. And so if there's anything that I would like people to have the courage to do more of that, so that you will also be helping somebody else and be bringing a great deal of self-development to yourself.
Latasha Wells Amerson, you are a great example of courage. And thank you for sharing your courage with us as well as your journey. It's been a pleasure having you sit at the table with us today.
The pleasure has been mine. Thank you so much, RJ, for having me. I really appreciate it, and you have greatly inspired me as well.
Well, Latasha, amazing.
If you have ever been seriously ill or lost a loved one, you know this is especially agonizing when there is no trust or power of attorney in place. Relieve yourself of the burden of the dreaded talk. These legal documents are not just about passing away. They are also about living. The Law Office of Latasha Wells Amerson is dedicated to the compassion delivery of legal services. We offer a comfortable setting for all our clients, from the nostalgia of house calls to electronic communications through our private client portal. Find out more about our legacy videos and trust and will packages. Let your legacy live by calling the Law Office of Latasha Wells Amerson at 310-872-1755. That's 310-872-1755. Or visit us online at www.lwalaw.com.
I've been so blessed today by these two women who are not out there talking about a problem. They're out there being a solution to any problem that they see. They can insert themselves in to help our next generation be productive citizens in our communities. So if you're someone who believes you're not gifted in the area of working with the youth, no worries. I invite you to support those who are. Contact our guests today. Get up underneath them. Lift them up as they lift up our youth. Your financial support, prayers, donations, and even your volunteer support is truly a gift. Two amazing guests today. Wouldn't you agree? Well, we promise you the best of the best.
Thank you for joining us for Conversations on Courage. Now that you've been inspired, informed, and encouraged, it's time for you to take